welcome to Floyd Models Kit Review Time. Today we got Revell's reboxing of their 148 scale Ju-25. This is the 3M version. This particular kit has been around before. It's been around since about the late 80s, I think it was, about 1989, first released. We've seen it in around about half a dozen different boxings and stuff like that, but it is back. And to be honest, it's one of those timeless kits. Because it is the unique design of having the corrugated skin, you don't have to worry about raised or recessed panel lines and stuff like that. It has got a very nice sort of interior detail with this one. And to be honest, it's a really iconic aircraft, and who doesn't love the tri-engine system on the Ju-52s. So anyway, we thought we'd get it out. As you can see down in here, new box art for this one, so obviously it's got new markings in it. As I said before, it has been available as a civilian markings, in military markings and things like that over the years, but it is back, as we say, with a little bit of a bang. And because of obviously its design and reboxing, a lot of people are wondering if this is a totally new tool kit or anything else like that. Unfortunately, it's not. It is literally just a rebox of the original one. You can see down in here, it's 170 parts. It's basically 40 centimeters long with a wingspan of almost 62 centimeters as well. So a quick look around on the box, we can see we've got some of the options down there. It does look nice in this sort of desert markings like this one as well. Okay, running around on here, as you can see, so we've got some more of that one down in there, and the usual blurb with their kit saying this one is a level 5, as you can see on here, and it is available for £46 from us at PM Models as well. And your kit number for this one is 03918. Right, on the back it is still sealed. I haven't had a look in here. It is the thing nowadays with obviously kit manufacturers redoing boxes and things like that and making them flash, and the new instructions and things like that, especially the way Revell are doing things at the moment. It is a little bit difficult to know if it is a new kit or a rebox. So as I said, this particular one, flash new box, also it has flash new instructions with it as well, which we'll have a look at first. So moving that out of the way, we got the usual decals and things down in here. So Revell's newish, I suppose. Can't say they're totally new, been around a while, but their instructions, which are far better ones than was the old ones. Usual things, obviously they're calling out for Revell paints. You know, it's easy to find your ones you want. Okay, so again, parts call outs for your trees, various things like that. Really, there's only one area not using, which is these down in here. Okay, so usual thing with this one. A little bit of preparation work for the interior, because it does have a nice interior detail on this one. So you are going to have to open up some holes, so have a look around at those ones. And then roughly working through the cockpit area, your bulkheads, your things like that, as you might imagine, right the way through the interior detail. Again, corrugated, which is pretty much what you'd expect to find all the way through here, right the way through. So you are going to have a full interior detail, which is one of the nice things that's about this particular kit. Again, mindful to be opening up the holes, and that will save you a lot of heartache a little bit later on. But when you have got it all in here, you will end up, you see, with a fully detailed cabin, flight deck, and quarters at the rear. Okay, then it's a case of sandwiching these together and then bringing in the bottom floor plate into this one. Again, lining up all this corrugated stuff. Hours of fun. Okay, lots of detail are going around with this one. Again, interior detail with the actual roof, so then that situation is being fitted down on the top as well. There is a thing with this one, you can do this not glued. Okay, so you can show off this detail. Again, it's never going to be a perfect lineup with all your seams and that, but if you did want to do it, so you could sort of open it up to see that interior detail, you could do it. But it is an option. It is actually saying here as well, you can glue it or not. Then you've got the wing sections, obviously all going together. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we get it together. Wing spars being fitted down and going in like that. Tailplanes going down in there, bracing, various things you imagine. The gear system, obviously it's fixed on this one, so you don't have to worry about wheel wells or anything. We do get weight on tyres, which is again a very nice thing to see. And then the beautiful thing about this kit is obviously the engines. It's what makes this aircraft so unique. And then obviously that is being replicated and detailed, as you might imagine, right the way through. Okay, so all three engines going on there. Then obviously we've got the control surfaces, and you've got your flaps and various things being fitted down onto this one. Then it's going in about putting in the smaller little details right the way through on this one. So we've got boarding ladders if you want to use them or not. We've got rat systems, or you know, things like that. And then obviously the defensive gun units on the top. Okay, those all being fitted down in there, aerials as alike, as you might imagine, down on here. And again, it has got a forward facing gun if you wanted that one as well. Nice touch as well, we do get some German paratroopers down in there, and then we got the markings from it. So again, North African markings, that's what makes this kit so nice. So again, beautiful colour schemes with these ones, with this sort of North African colour, as you can see. So it's basically around the Libya area, okay? Or you've got the sort of normal sort of European with the splinter in the German markings for Italy in December 42 as well. And there you go. It's actually a really nice kit, this one. Okay, so down in here we have your markings, as you might expect. So we got these down in here. Obviously don't expect to find swap stickers, because obviously being a German company you won't. Okay, so a quick look at these. You can see very nice. The usual thing though with these, you know, it doesn't look so bad, but looking on camera you can see how flat they are. It was always the sort of bugbear with modelers years ago that they were silver and they're very, very shiny, and obviously you've got flat coats on your models and it's very hard to do. Now they've gone the other way, they're really dead flat. Trouble with it is they tend to be a little bit too flat, okay? Down in here you've got your actual engine instrument panel, and all your flight control things down in there for in the cockpit, okay? And these white markings, which pretty much I imagine most of us would end up spraying those instead. Anyway, right, down to the plastic of it. So as you saw, it's a big old pack of plastic, you know, it's a good old lump. Just down in here you've got, what, 50 centimetres worth of plastic. So let's try and get in amongst all of this. So, it says, what do we know? I need a knife. Try and get my way in here. So it looks like we've got one giant bag. Okay. One big bag in here like this. That's our clear parts, we'll keep them handy. And it looks like we got pretty much 2 in each bag again after that. So let's start down in here. Okay, so the big thing is, we'll start here anyway, I don't suppose it matters. So as you can see, very large sprue straight off the bat. Again, it's Revell, so don't expect to find this without the odd little sink mark in it, and certainly without a little bit of flash. Bearing in mind this kit is coming up for now 20 years old as well. You know, it has got a few little things going on with it, but generally looking very good. It seems to be doing the stand of time. Okay, so we'll get the elephant out of the room. We've got this corrugated surface detail, which is what makes this aircraft so unique and so very, very beautifully done. Downside is, as you might know, the leading edges, we've got these big tabs, but fear not, because this corrugated doesn't wrap around the front as such. There is a plate that runs along the front of these, which, you know, it's not corrugated all the way around. I think a lot of modelers worry about that. So by trimming these off, it's not a problem. Okay, control surfaces, you can see down in here. This white plastic isn't doing itself any favours trying to show it on camera, but hopefully you can actually see that corrugated look into it. And then we've got the top half of the wing right the way through. Very nice indeed. And then that interior detail, so we've got some of those bulkheads. Again, it's all going to be corrugated for the strength. We've got harnesses already moulded into the seating, and we've got that huge long control surface. It's a sort of flap aileron all in one. Okay, so that's very nice indeed. And then obviously down in here we've got some of those control rods for the actual control surfaces themselves. Generally though, considering how old this kit is, it's actually one of the good ones. It's not a problem with this one. Really nice, very fine detail. The ejector pins, although numerous, are all out of the way. Okay, so that's very, very nice indeed. Again. Okay, so on this other great big one here, as you can see, again, looking at the bottom, so we got a lot more of this sort of ribbed corrugated effect right the way through. Again, actually, I'm not seeing too much in the way of production problems. The plastic feels harder than their normal stuff. We've got no real sink marks I've noticed as of yet, and flash-wise, it's only on the sprue, so that's not too bad. If we just switch to the close-up, we start up here, so we see you've got the engine cowls, some of the seat and the interior detail with those, and then moving down here we've got some of those bulkheads you can see, and then on top we've obviously got the spine running down the back. Okay, and then over to this side you can see this is the belly, so that's the underside. So we've got some of the actual mounting rings, some of the guns, some of the seats, and this floor area. So again, normal sheet metal here, corrugated down the back, different grades and thicknesses of it right the way through. Then up here we've actually got the floor for the main interior, and then the flight deck at the front just down in here, and one of the engine rings. Then if we flip over you can see Really nice touch with this interior detail, okay, which actually isn't too bad at all. Yes, there is ejector pins in it, but the way they've done those, they've maintained the corrugated bit of it, so it's not like it's showing too much. These down the back here I think are quite fine and no problem, but considering the amount of detail we've got in here, it really is very nice. We do have the sort of spreaders into this, which hopefully means with a little bit of fitting and playing, you know, I've never built this kit so I wouldn't know, but you might be able to get that in as a loose fit just to display it open or closed, okay? But again, it'd be a shame to lose all that gorgeous detail, but it is there, as you can see it right the way through. So generally, very nice indeed with that one. Okay, so over on the other bag, so you've only really got 4 screws in this, but as we can see, this one over here we've got the other wing section for the top wing, but over here we've actually got those wheels, so we've got weight on wheels, so we've got flat spots and they're slightly bulged, which is very nice indeed. And then down on this side we've got the instrument panel, the cockpit areas, things like that, but obviously we've got the props. So we've got the props down in there, which again don't look too bad at all really. And then we've got the exhaust, quite finely detailed, no problem at all. Flight yokes and then various turbines for power. And actually, yeah, I stand by it. I can't really see any sink marks and the usual problems sometimes you get with Revell. Okay, but this one's not too bad at all. So down in here, if we start on the blind side, you can see more of this gorgeous internal details down on both sides of this. And again, nice ones all the way through. You can see on these nozzles and engines, and then on the other side, that gorgeous side, all corrugated right the way through this box section, looking really nice. Good level of detail down here on these tails. You can see those with the rudder, so that's quite nice. The actual engines themselves don't look too bad at all. Yes, there's no actual ribbing detail for the cooling vanes on these engines as it would have, but that's not too bad at all. But we do have the exhausts and the push rods and various things, as you can see, right the way through for all those engines. There's your crew. So a couple of German paratroopers. Looks like we don't actually get pilots, you get paratroopers. So you can have a little diorama of them all stood around waiting to go on. Okay, and again, very, very nice surface details on all of these right the way around, and then close up on that interior detail. Again, it's one of the highlights with this kit. It's got gorgeous interior detail right the way through. And then on that other side, very, very nicely done. Okay, so that's it for the screws. Next up we've got the clear parts. So being quite flat, you'd hope that these will all be okay, and actually we're not disappointed. So 2 types of roof. So we've got the one open so you can have a sort of front upper gunner, or you've got it closed up as well, so we've got nice options there. Side glazing looks very, very adequate, no problem at all. And actually I'm just poking my finger in it to have a look round. Yeah, that's all crystal clear, no problem at all. I'm sure you can get a mask set for it, but if you want to do it by hand, they've actually got quite sharp edges to this one, so it'd be no problem to run a blade down in there. You know, it's a little bit soft perhaps on this front lip here, but the side one's all quite sharp, so I think you'll be okay with that one to actually self-mask up and things like that. And there we go. It's nice to see that this kit is back, because again, it is one of those sort of hidden gems. If you don't know it, it's one of those that very easily slips under the radar, and I think when they did them in civilian markings, it wasn't, you know, particularly, you know, nice, but putting a brand new spin on this and a nice marking set, some nice box art down in there as well, it's really given the kit that sort of extra little kick it needed to bring it back into everyone's line of sight, and certainly their imaginations to build and put this kit exactly where it needs to be. Anyway, that is us. So that is available from PM stores, as we said before, so you can get direct from us. Full details down below as always. But that is Revell's fantastic 1/48 scale Ju-25.